Umpire Coates, Michael Gardner, and across the way, a man in very good form. So Rucks go at it. Allen wins it down. Gardner's there, falls on Allen. It comes out to Braun, nicely played. It was Williams who got the ball to him. Kick inside the 50. Kutafides waiting in front, throws it on the boot, back towards the centre square. McKay wants to go and does. Swings it down towards half forward. Matthew Allen goes back. Almost the mark. Recovers on the ground. Here's an opportunity. Lappin. He's about 65 metres from goal. Centering kick. Rintoul goes back. Couldn't drag it down. Banfield to Cousins. Reid is free. It comes in that direction. Philip Reid's on the wing in more ways than one. He's running down towards half forward. There goes the kick towards the attacking 50. Kutafides. Quiet last week. Brilliant the week before. Took a very strong mark. Bradley goes to Manton, who did play on, took a step. Now De Ulio's got it.
And he comes away from the half back line, goes up towards centre wing. He was looking for Beaumont. Metropolis got a fist to the ball. Out bustled that time by Beaumont, who goes to ground, looking for support. Gets it back through Allen. This raking left foot up towards centre half forward. Coming out was Jakovic. Overruns the ball. Whitnell manhandle Werpunda. Goes to ground. Also Lappin. Also on hands and knees. Camporelli. A danger player today for the Eagles. Picked up by Jakovic. Comes away. The old firm in action. Back to McKenna. Rockets the ball wide to Morrison. They come away from the half back line. The Eagles in full flight. Manton stands his ground. And the mark has been paid. The roar goes around Subiaco. What do you think of that one, John?
Yeah, that was a fair mark. I think he had good purchase on it, so good decision.
To Murphy. He's made a remarkable comeback after injuring his knee. In round 5 against Geelong finds Beaumont on centre wing. The Blues 5-4 this year. Big test, but they have a great record against the Eagles here at Subiaco. Werpunda, an exciting talent in the back pocket. Back to Banfield, under pressure, just pumps the ball back towards centre wing.
On the outer side, strong mark is taken out there by Manton once more. He started very well. De Ulio peeling off from half-back, probing kick down towards centre half forward. Whitnell came up strongly. That was a great grab.
Yeah, really good grab in front of Jakovic, who was putting the pressure on him. But Whitnell, once he's in front, one of the strongest marks in the game now. Just always one grab at the footy and make sure he takes them.
This will test him. He'll kick from just outside the 50. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. Nobody back on the goal line. Goal.
Well, that was amazing, Dennis. There was no one at all back in the goal line for the West Coast Eagles. Werpunda was down there manning Lappin just in the goal square, but no one behind the line to take a run and try and touch that. And it is one of the things that coaches make sure the players do. That kick probably was going to carry anyway, but if it had been just a little bit shorter, a Gardner having a run out from behind the line can often touch it. Makes a big difference. Coaching staff won't be too happy with that.
That's a Michael Gardner.
Well, Lance Whitnell has received a lot of news back in Melbourne. He's been to a health farm up in Queensland, Camp Eden, to lose a bit of weight. They say he's fitter and trimmer. What a way to start. It might be a miracle farm. Camporelli out towards the half-forward line, finds Beaumont out in front. Good grab. Just 23 years of age. One of the young players, Carlton, is hoping will take the next step. Franchina has got the job, playing on Ben Cousins. It's a good 70 metres out from goal. He's going to pump the ball long. Pushing and shoving. White came over the top. Couldn't quite get his hands on the ball. Werpunda again picking up some early possessions. Finds Cousins. So two young guns combined in this opening term at Subiaco. The West Coast Eagles kicking right of screen. Cousins. McKay stands his ground, and the Foswilliam medalist from last week's State of Origin clash has also started well. To Bradley, the skipper, belts the ball back inside 50. Off hands, Whitnell, clever play, tries to tap the ball out, 45 metres out from goal. White overran the ball, missed his mark in Franchina, picked up by Cousins, been bumped that time by Beaumont, rode it well. Magnificent skills on the boundary line, tried to weave his way out of trouble. McIntosh heads towards the line, good play by Metropolis, gets it back to Banfield. They were squeezed up. It was great work by the Eagles defence. Coming away with the ball was Braun to the half-forward line, some pushing and shoving. Manton over the top, thumps the ball away from Mitchell White for a boundary throw-in.
The benches for both sides, the Eagles, Simmons, Holmes, Emberley and Bellotti. And for Carlton, it's Hickmont, Pearce is off, Nelson and Hulme.
18 degrees currently. Carlton lead by the only goal in the game, the only score in the game. Bradley from Allen. Just standing there, kicks it high out towards the wing. Going back Franchina. In the pack Banfield, slips it away to Cousins. Cousins hard against the line, kicks back inside the 50. Big leap at the back and fished it away down in front by the defence. Manton. In comes Braun's kick, but not a good one. On the road was Murphy. Bradley runs it out from centre half back through the centre square towards half forward. Beaumont launched himself from behind. Rapunda stood his ground in front. This is Camporelli. Sweeping hand pass across to accommodate Fraser Brown. Brown into the path of Lappin. He can run onto this ball. Had to check. Now he's got a problem. Gets past Reed. Centering kick though is good. Found the target, the moving target. And Whitnell, who kicked a goal from here moments ago, in fact maybe about 3 or 4 metres closer. Let's see if somebody gets back this time. Well, McKenna is down towards the square. Metropolis there too, but no, Ruckman has made it his business to run back, and Gardner is standing directly behind Jakovic. Is on the mark. That's bad football. There goes the kick from Whitnell, off target and to behind.
Yeah, it's not good football, Dennis. I mean, they're relying on it being a good kick. I always expect players to assume the worst, because if it is a good kick, it's going through anyway. You do no damage by being down there. If it's a bad kick, you can make all the difference on the goal line.
Whitnell's form this year hasn't been all that hot, but he's still the best mark taker for Carlton, the 5th best in the competition this year. He's been averaging 7 marks a game. He's already taken 2. As we see the Eagles backtrack. Jakovic tries to drill it. The runner got in the way. Taken away by Cousins. Just wobbles the kick back towards the half-back line. Good punch way by Murphy. Reed crashes his way through Fraser Brown. That took strength. Werpunda goes to ground. Rice gets the ball across to Ratton. Jakovic. The great man's caught. Just 10 metres out from goal. Chance here for the Blues. Try and kick the ball off the ground was Metropolis. Into the pocket. McKenna runs the ball through.
A good hard footy to start this game. Carlton really are dominating across half-back at the moment. Glenn Manton started very well, and he's feeding it off to Bradley, who's starting back there and running through the centre of the ground. He started well as also.
Blues by 8 points. And the ball will come back to McIntosh. The All-Australian full-back. And Stephen Silvani at the other end of the ground. Full-back of the century. Metropolis.
That's hard to reconcile, really, isn't it?
Still in the back pocket. Looking for Gardner. Allen. Big fist from behind. Kemp at ground level. Bradley has already picked up several handy touches, as has Cousins. To Kemp. Great vision. Finds Reed. He's told to keep running by Mitchell White. Has a bounce. Drills the ball. Here comes Cummings. Couldn't take it on the second grab. Out in front of Silvani. He's going to pump the ball to the square. Williams is getting back. He's got McKay to beat. He's got it.
Great grab. Very tough to grab those ones, KB, when you are off balance. Just try and keep your eye on it.
A very unselfish play. He's gone short to Braun.
Well, that makes a difference as well. The quicker you get back on the feet, that's when the forward line's still very open. He got up very quickly. Braun had worked hard into the open space. Williams fed it off to him. So great play by Andrew Williams. Scotty Cummings won't want to drop too many of those. Silvani won't give him too much space, and he had a chance at that one.
Young man from Echuca has just kicked the 1 goal this year. 35 metres out. He's pushed it wide and through for a behind.
It's a fair amount of pressure on. It's Carlton have really come out to put the pressure on the West Coast Eagles. They haven't looked as dynamic as some of their starts on this ground this year, but they'll be ready to really start to put the pressure back on the Carlton side now.
So Carlton by 7 points, the early going from Subiaco Oval. Silvani spears the pass in.
Risky kicks.
Quite quickly, didn't it, to Murphy, who squares the ball. On the other side, Koutafidis goes off a step and pops it along the boundary line to Allen, to Bradley, working a phone box out there, but they clear the zone, high towards the wing. McIntosh went back, couldn't complete the mark. Camporelli had it knocked away. It comes to Beaumont. Rintoul brought him down, back towards Rintoul. He slaps it out. Braun did well. Got it across to Metropolis, to Kemp. Little 1-2, back to Metropolis inside the 50. Ill directed. Koutafidis stood his ground. Lazily pops it across to Bradley. Bradley inside his own defensive 50, miscues with a kick. Banfield, the worker, came to meet it, dragged down, socket off the ground by McKay. And across the boundary line it goes. So Carlton have started very well.
Both sides looking to get some matchups. It's Bradley picking up Kemp, which is going to be a great contest, and Banfield taking the run in Camporeale.
Well, Bradley's already had 6 possessions, so the Carlton skipper is in fine touch. Cousins brought down. Franchina today is going to wear him like a glove. They force the ball back inside the centre square. Metropolis is caught, but the free kick will go to the Eagles. And there's Camporeale. Won't get off his man. We can see they're caught high. Metropolis on the edge of the centre square. Mitchell White on the lead, so's Donnelly. It's been ignored. Here comes Cummings on a long lead. Out in front of Silvani, pushed up under the ball again. Bradley playing across the half-back line. Just the sweeper, finds Ratton, his partner in crime. Kicks wide, he was looking for Camporeale, but taken by McKenna. He's had a magnificent season across half-back. Braun done some handy touches already in this first quarter. This is his 5th possession, looking for Mitchell White. Great hands, try to take on the half volley. Magnificent play by Mitchell White. Tunnel balls it to Workunda. Runs to 50. Unfortunately, he's off target and through from behind, but what an exciting talent.
Oh, classy play by Mitchell White. Really out of position. A shocking kick coming into him from Braun, but just managed to control the ball. Then a smart handball along the ground to Ruapunda with that explosive pace. Found enough space to get through, but just couldn't finish off with a straight kick.
Now, they tell me, Dennis, over here during the week, there was a lot of talk about how you should pronounce Wirpunda and Wirapunda. Now, what do you have to call him?
Wirpunda today. There's Nelson, but we don't guarantee it. Nelson on the outer side, in trouble. Gets the hand pass away, falling to the ground. Ronnie de Ulio tries to slap it out of there. It ricochets back in. Banfield there. Now, my understanding of the rule is, regardless of whether you try and get it out or not, if it stays in, it's holding the ball. That ricocheted off Banfield and stayed with Ronnie. Still ball up. 6 points the difference. Carlton lead. The West Coast Eagles now have settled, working their way back into it. That was magic just moments ago from Mitchell White, like a basketballer controlling the ball. On the outer side, Reid gets it across to Braun, to Kemp. Here's a chance. Goes back to Reid. Reid arches the back 15 metres out, runs into an open goal and hits the post.
Good chain of handballs there by the West Coast Eagles that all of a sudden found space for Reid running into the open goal and missed a golden opportunity for the West Coast Eagles. Be disappointed in that. They'll be very keen to get a goal on the board.
Well, a couple of wasted opportunities. Braun, of course, from a set shot. Reid from close in. Murphy kicks wide, looking for Koutafidis, who's been in good touch. Seems to have found his niche at centre half back. DiUlio goes short. Hamill forced under the ball. Allen with that big lopey strides. McKenna stood his ground well. Good tackle by Rice. Hamill comes away for the Blues to the half forward line. Whitnell's the target. Jankovic the high flyer. Wirpunda at ground level gets plenty of support from Morrison. Comes away. He's got the loose player wide and he finds Reid. Reid coming away from the half back line. Goes short and finds Williams. So they're sharing the ball around, the Eagles, at Subiaco. They trail by 5 points. The Blues in 8th spot on the ladder. The Eagles 8-1 on top. Manton in front. It's been handy as well. Kemp rode it magnificently. A casual bounce. Runs inside 50. Runs to 35 and closes. Looks for Cummings. It was a poor option. Should have kicked the goal. Cummings. Quick snap. Still in play. Ricochets back. Great smother. Silvani on hands and knees. The Blues can't keep out. Cousins runs into the open goal and is missed. Well, a comedy of errors by the West Coast Eagles. First of all, John, Kemp should have drilled the goal. Yeah, I don't know why Kempy went for the short pass. Great bit of roving off the pack and then decided to go for the short pass. And then eventually when Cousins got his hands on the ball, I thought, well, this is a goal. And even he pulled it back too hard on his left.
Hamill gets it from Silvani.
To see
Amazing.
Cousins. I thought once a great pickup and good pace, and it just looked like a certain goal, and he hooked it back a little bit too sharply.
McKenna looking for Gardner. He breaks through. He's on the wing. Michael Gardner down towards half forward. Nelson will replace Franchina. Gives it to Manton. Across it comes to Bradley. Bradley, his 9th possession towards midfield and White. marking inside the centre square. Murphy cruises past. Nice kick into the path of Beaumont. Beaumont lacking support, pulls it back, intended for Rice, hitting it hard. McKenna takes a deflection. White's over it, still White battling out there. Williams got a hand pass and a good one. It favoured Metropolis. Metropolis to Morrison. Morrison to Braun. Braun a high kick towards the outer side wing. It pitches just inside the field of play. Koutafides got it to Murphy. Murphy on the wing, back to half forward. Nice kick. Hugging the boundary line. This is White. Carlton by 4 points. White inside the attacking 50. Lappin on the lead. Former Saint will kick from outside 50. Not a good effort. It wobbles to the pocket. Hamill is there. Across the line, we'll have a boundary throw in.
Dennis, a couple of interesting changes down here. Ben Cousins has already lost his first tagger. Franchina.
Welcome viewers around Australia to Subiaco Oval as part of Doubleheader Sunday. The West Coast Eagles and Carlton. This is like batting after Bradman. Congratulations to Plugger. Job well done. Djakovic driving this ball towards the outer side, and Murphy. The state of play here with about 7 minutes to go till quarter time. Carlton lead by 4 points. The breeze hardly a factor. 8 plays 4. Whitnell has the only goal of the game. Rintoul to Braun. Cousins, who missed a golden opportunity moments ago, kicks inside the 50. Cummings on the lead. Scott Cummings will kick a goal from right on the 50.
Well, again, we see 2 grabs by Scott Cummings, and he won't be happy with that. He'd be rather taking the ball cleanly. As you said, get in front of Silvani. Often that second grab, he'll be able to get his fist in there and knock it away. He had plenty of space on that occasion, but he'd rather be taking the ball cleanly. At the other end of the ground, Ashley McIntosh is having to pick up Aaron Hamill, and he's dragging him right up the ground, trying to keep McIntosh away from his usual spot, guarding that goal square.
So far, Cousins has been good. Reid has been good. Bradley has been very good. Manton started at centre half back. Liked his game so far. Cummings likes that kick. First goal for the West Coast Eagles.
Well, that's a better result for the Eagles. They've gone forward a fair bit in the last 10 minutes of this quarter without getting the results they would have liked. They've had 2 or 3 fairly comfortable shots at goal and missed them all. Scott Cummings that time doing his job. He's the full forward. He should be one of the most accurate kicks for this side. And he came out in a good lead, strong mark, and has kicked the first goal for the West Coast Eagles, which they were pretty keen to get on the board.
The Eagles by 2 points. Scotty Cummings, 41 goals for the season. It's been a great pickup from Port Adelaide. Good at 70 goals there. He's doing the job for the Eagles in front of goals. Djakovic rockets the ball out to Metropolis, comes away from the half-back line, kicks the space. Braun having a fantastic opening quarter. Drills down again, looking for Cousins, who's been superb. Franchina started on Cousins, but he's off. Nelson now is on the ground. Cousins to centre half forward. It's a wobbly old kick. Bradley's been a star also for the Blues. Bradley, hands and knees, does well. Can feed the ball off to Silvani. Back to Bradley, who's played right across the half-back line in this opening quarter. Finds Ratton, averaging 26 possessions a game to Murphy, who averages 23. So the 2 big ball winners for Carlton combining, and here's Beaumont out wide. Carlton, good record at Subiaco. Drives down, finds Hamill out in front of McIntosh. And you're right, John, leading him a long way up the ground. Lappin was on a lead, that's been ignored. It's gone short to Duilio inside the centre square. So the Blues sharing the ball around. Out in front is White, playing in front of Morrison. So Whitnell has already taken 2 big grabs on the forward line. It's kicked 1-1. He's on a lead. It's going to be on it. Whitnell can't quite get there. And chipping in was Rintoul. To Matera. Finds Banfield on the half-back line. One of the gun midfielders for the Eagles. Mitchell White out in front. Manton's been good in this first quarter. Williams took a great mark also in the forward pocket to Kemp. Feeds the ball off to Mitchell White. The Eagles again into attack. Cummings doing well out in front of Silvani. Feeds the ball back. Cummings make that Gardner 45 metres out. Wobbles the ball in. Fisted away that time by McKay. Hits the behind post for a boundary throw-in.
Great understanding there from Mitchell White and Cummings. Moved it very quickly. The kick just fell short. So boundary throw-in. The Eagles lead it by 2 points, 1-4 to 1-2. Just over 4 minutes till quarter time. Lovely day in Perth. Temperature 18 degrees. Gardner and Allen. Gardner clean possession. An arm move straight across the shoulder there. Carlton a bit lucky. Over the ball Cummings. He's holding it. No. Play goes on. Trying to crawl out was Manton. Then left it behind. Oops. Did you ever have one of those days? He was crawling. He thought he had it. And suddenly it was back there somewhere. And Cummings tied it up. So a bounce. About 30 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. Gardner and Allen. Allen in splendid form recently. Gardner, though, got it down to Philip Matera. Michael Gardner's goal.
Well, that is a very good goal. Gardner's had his hands full with Allen so far in this quarter, but he fights back very strongly there to set up a crucial goal for the West Coast Eagles. Sensational bit of work out of the ruck. Allen, one of the leading knock ruckman in the competition, but on that occasion Phil Matera reading it extremely well, not having to break stride as he got it onto his boot. You see here, knew where the ball was going to go and good enough to get it on his boot and through for a goal.
Well, after a tardy start, the Eagles lead by 8 points. Philip Matera, 22 goals for the season. One of the most improved players in the competition. Reid tumbles the ball forward, clean bowl. Koutafidis, Mitchell White in hot pursuit. Koutafidis recovers well around the corner to centre wing. Rintoul, Camporelli the tackler, caught high. Rintoul to take the kick. Just wobbled that ball forward, marked by Philip Matera, playing in front. Julio Matera, so dangerous, so lively. Here's Cummings again out in front of Silvani. Haven't seen a player lead Silvani to the ball for a long time like Scotty Cummings has been doing in this first quarter, John.
No, it's a good sign for the West Coast Eagles. Cummings is getting away from Silvani, getting his hands on the ball. He is a very smart leader, there's no doubt about that, and there's plenty of space for him in the Eagles forward line.
So Manton to do the ruck work with Bellotti. Started on the interchange bench, kicked off the ground by Reid. Cousins had 9 possessions, make that 10. Back to Reid. Short kick. Ratton with those quick hands, back to Murphy, back to Ratton. They combine the Blues defence. Koutafidis stands and delivers. Towards the half-back line, finds Beaumont. He's a long way down from the full forward post, goes short. He was looking for Wicknell. Tries to claim it on the half volley, and he's got it.
He looked like he made a real effort to get his fingers under the ball that time. It was a great mark.
Camporelli's the target. Through the fingertips, Morrison at the back. He'll get support. Goes to ground. White, tackled by Banfield. Loose ball, chance for the Blues. Reid, copped the shove. They'll get a ball up. 45 metres out from the Blues goal.
See Wicknell coming out and really looked like he tried to get his fingers under the ball to scoop it up, and a very good mark. He's leading well. The Carlton side have got most of their tools leading way up the ground.
Under 2 minutes to quarter time. Jakovic knocks it down. Through goes Braun and across the boundary line. Now Raw's gone up and I'm not sure what's happened.
Franchina's back on the ground picking up Cousins again. Obviously he had a bit of a bait from the coach, told to tighten his game up and putting a bit of physical pressure on Ben Cousins.
And the emergency umpire has gone out to have a word to Franchina. White is hobbling off. Meantime, Carlton a chance on their forward line. Camporelli's holding the ball, is he? Not according to the umpire. So a bit happening. Pearce about to come on.
The Carlton White coming off, not Mitchell White for the Eagles. And
that's right.
Pearce on, so we'll see the matchups, how they're going to change.
Cousins and Franchina then, as they were at the start. Allen reaches over the top. Braun, so busy. Morrison comes away nicely. Kicks it towards half-back. Plenty of Blues around, though. Beaumont does well. Takes the mark right on the attacking 50. Goes in short. Ratton has to wait. He's taken this one. Not that much closer to goal. Now downfield, the ball is going to Hamill against McIntosh, and I didn't see that. Always a sign the defender's confused when he takes his mouth guard out and wants to talk about it.
Got to talk politely about it these days too. Any abusive language and it's 50 metres, so you've got to politely question the umpire.
What do you do? Put your own beeps in. There's Hamill. Second goal for Carlton.
Well, it will be interesting to see what happens now. Cousins being picked up again by Franchina, who is testing him out. And it would be a good move for Malthouse to put Cousins back on the ball. He can get more involved in the play rather than stay one-on-one in the forward pocket where Franchina really can harass him. He's obviously down there for a rest, but he can use up a fair bit of energy just trying to stay away from Franchina, giving him a hard time.
We see Ben Cousins on screen. Anthony Franchina has got the job of trying to stop the Eagles' young gun. Just under a minute left in this opening quarter. The Eagles lead by 2 points. Allen in the ruck work with Gardner. Vaughan's had a magnificent opening quarter. Allen rockets the ball wide. Murphy, point of the centre square. He was looking for Beaumont. Too much carry on the ball. Beats Werpunda and Camporelli over the line.
The other interesting matchup in the Carlton forward line, Dean Rice down there, and Guy McKenna's picking him up, and Rice is really working to keep McKenna away from where the action's going to be. For this boundary throw in here, Rice is on the far side of the ground outside 50 metres.
Jakovic and Whitnell. Give it to Whitnell, taken by Camporelli, dragged to the ground by Jakovic. And they'll ball it up 55 metres out from Carlton's goal. So the time clock ticking away, down to 14 seconds. David Parkin on the boundary line. Mick Malthouse also down in the action. Lappin was clean bowled. Going to ground was Hume, all tied up by Rintoul. Banfield comes away. Ball lands in the arms of Reed as the siren sounds to end a very tough and entertaining first quarter. 2-4-16 the Eagles. The Blues 2-2-14.
Ben Cousins, 9 possessions. In fact, all the runners for the West Coast Eagles have made a very good start. Braun, 11 possessions. Reed, 9 possessions, and despite all of that, Carlton right there just 2 points off the pace. Bradley has had 9, but most of those came across half back, although Justin Murphy, taking a look at the figures, has had 9 and Ratton 7. So I guess if you try and analyse those, it's been a free running game. Quarter time, the goal scorers: Cummings, Philip Matera, Whitnell and Hamill. The West Coast Eagles lead it by 2 points. 7 kicks, 2 hand passes, 2 marks. Dean Kemp, 5 possessions in the opening term, overshadowed by a few of the other runners, but still getting the job done. Rucks go at it. Nobody touched the ball. It falls behind Cousins. Big of the devil to Braun, to Reed. The 3 of them combine. He kicks inside the 50. Cummings in close attendance. Silvani. Cummings, 25 metres out. Scott Cummings kicks a goal.
But just as you called it, Dennis, those 3 young and very exciting players for the West Coast Eagles out of the centre of the ground. Cousins, Braun and Reed, they've all been very good so far, forcing the ball forward. And on this occasion, Cummings just kept the ball. It just bounced the other side of the pack to where all the Carlton players had read it. So he ended up with an open paddock, 30 metres out, just swung onto his left boot. Very good finish for Scotty Cummings. He's looking dangerous up there.
Two goals to Cummings, and he has been very impressive. He's been leading Stephen Silvani to the ball, and his recovery has also been first class. Here's Banfield. This centre square might cause the Blues a bit of trouble with Cousins and Braun absolutely dominating. Braun pulled off the ball, will get the free kick. And this is where the Eagles have been so good since about 10 minutes into that first quarter. Out in front, Matera. Ball nearly hit him on the head. 35 metres out from the Eagles' goal. Kemp wants a free kick. Bradley over the top. They'll ball it up.
Well, it makes all the difference, doesn't it, KB, with the side that gets the ball out of the centre and moves it forward quickly. The Eagles on both occasions at the start of this quarter looking pretty dangerous.
Well, they've just had so much of the ball so far, with Cousins having it 10 times and Braun 12, so 22 times for the on-ballers, and we've just started the second quarter. Mitchell White got Koutafidis the beat, drives him into the ground over the line. Boundary throw in. West Coast by 8 points. Lance Whitnell, the sole goal kicker for Carlton. 2 to Scotty Cummings and 1 to Philip Matera. Boundary throw in on the Eagles half forward line. Ratton had it and lost it. Plenty of weight being used today at Subiaco. Mitchell White caught high by Koutafidis. Fraser Brown on hands and knees tries to shovel it out. Kemp the tackler. It's tough in the clinches.
That was a ferocious tackle by Dean Kemp. Really wrapped up Ratton there, and a good hard hit by Laurie Bellotti just in the previous bounce down. But just can see Kemp really wanted to make sure he had that ball wrapped up in there.
Well, Dean Kemp and Craig Bradley having a great duel. Lappin trying to control the ball close to the boundary line. Koutafidis under pressure. Tumbles the ball back. It's been marked by Rintoul. Loose player is Reid at centre half forward. Fraser Brown did well. Hits the ball hard. McKay. Great running and roving. Drives the ball down towards Beaumont, who's already taken 5 marks. This time it slips through his fingers. McKenna really under pressure. The general sets it up to Philip Reid. Comes away and belts the ball back. Scotty Cummings is the target out in front of Silvani. This time reads it well. Heads out wide. Looking for Lappin. The race is on. Braun. Plenty of pace. Trying to get there first. Lappin tied up on the boundary line. Finally forced over for a toss back in.
Well, Beaumont took 5 marks in that first quarter on Daniel Metropolis, dropping that one, but
you can see there
a little bit of holding there, but it was a fair bit before the ball got there. Probably lucky on that occasion, Silvani.
Well, Cummings has booted 2 goals as Braun heads the ball once more back over the line. 22 plays 14.
KB, I'll give you the benches for Carlton. Hickmott, Nelson, and Adam White has a kick in the shin is off. Darren Hume. I'd be surprised if Ben Nelson doesn't go on to Phil Reid though, because Fraser Brown is struggling on him. Simmons, Holmes, Embley and Bellotti for the Eagles.
Well, Fraser Brown tried to squeeze the handball out. Bellotti on hands and knees, kicked off the ground by Reid, taken by Bradley, stands and delivers. Back to the edge of the centre square. Pack-up players, Rice was there at ground level. Lappin leaves it for Fraser Brown. So the Blues into attack. Camporelli out in front of where Punda's got it.
Good kick by Brown.
Plays on. Probing kick inside the 50. McIntosh reaching over the top. Morrison coughed it up. Beaumont 25 metres out from goal. He's kicked it behind.
He's looking dangerous, Beaumont. We talked about him. 5 marks in the first quarter opposed to Daniel Metropolis. The Eagles have realigned their back line now with Morrison picking up Beaumont. Metropolis taking Hamill and Ashley McIntosh now back in the goal square picking up Pearce.
McIntosh. Now McKenna. Reid is on. Kick in that direction. Reid. As Brown arrived. Wants to go. Feeds it to Morrison. Now Banfield. Banfield forward at the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Cummings is the target. Neither player touched the ball, but Silvani's been penalised for a push in the back.
Yeah, I think there was obviously fairly strong contact there. The umpire had no hesitation in blowing the whistle after the ball cleared both players. Silvani looked like he conceded that there was a little bit of a push there, body contact.
So Cummings started the day on 40. He's booted 2. This season, 2 hauls of 7 against Collingwood round 3, Adelaide round 8. This time last season, really struggling for form. Booted 19 goals for Port Adelaide. Back home, enjoying his footy. And kicking goals. He's got 3.
That's a good kick by Scotty Cummings. I think we touched on it. The Eagles midfield are starting to get on top. Philip Reid on top of Fraser Brown has been doing very well. And Michael Braun on Ratton. It's been a pretty good contest, but Braun does give the Eagles a lot more run forward, carries the ball, whereas Ratton is the player in and under, feeds it out. When Braun gets it, he is being fairly damaging for the Eagles. So it'll be interesting to see if Carlton change their matchups out there.
The Eagles by 13 points, 43 goals for the season to Scott Cummings. Gardner jumps over the top of Allen. Cousins to Werpunda. Back to Braun. The youngsters really combining to Williams. The Eagles into attack. There's a chance. Cummings this time. Forced back under the ball. Taken by Silvani to Koutafidis. Didn't really hit a target. Silvani desperate. Back to Koutafidis. They've had to work hard. The Carlton defence. DeJulio drills it and finds Allen. To Murphy, to Bradley, across the half-back line. Been so good, Craig Bradley. This is his 11th possession to Hamill. Started at full forward on McIntosh. Whitnell's on a long lead out in front, drops an absolute sitter. Kicked off the ground by Jakovic. and Whitnell would be pretty disappointed. As I mentioned before, he's been in the news over his fitness, been to Queensland to a health farm, kicked the first goal for the Blues.
Looked like he lost sight of that for a second, I don't know. Didn't quite have his hands ready.
Well, he'd be disappointed. He's the leading mark taker for the Blues, and that was a sitter. Camporelli tumbles the ball down towards Pearce, who started on the interchange bench, taken over by McIntosh for a throw-in.
Well, it's interesting, when White limped off for Carlton, Pearce came on, and that's really helped the Eagles with their matchups, because actually McIntosh is now stationed at full-back on Pearce, where he certainly likes to be, and sets up a lot of play for the Eagles.
Test of strength between Jagovic and Whitnell. Reid came over the top. Cousins just continues to win the ball. Jagovic changes direction. Great vision to Morrison. Can set it up wide. Banfield. He's been ignored. He's off and running. Backs himself in. Runs through the centre square. Chad Morrison, 75 metres out. Unloads both barrels to the square. Silvani lost control. Taken by McKay. Back to Silvani. But the free kick's being paid to Philip Matera in the goal square.
Yeah, the umpire said that Silvani had hold of Matera. Obviously, I think Silvani went to the ground, and knowing Matera was still on his feet, just grabbed at his jumper to try and impede his progress. So, I don't know if it affected the play at all. Hard to pick as we just dragged down. It really wasn't going to affect where the footy was at all. And Philip Matera's having an easy shot at goal.
Pretty tough call.
Well, he's had a fantastic season. He's going for his second goal, pops it through.
That's a really tough call. A free kick paid in the goal square in that situation where both players, there was no real intent to push Matera out of the play. Both players actually were out of the play just by virtue of the fact where the ball ended up after Silvani dropped the mark. And the umpires paid the free kick. So it's a fairly costly one to Carlton. The Eagles starting to open up a pretty handy lead now.
Just watching it, John, I don't think he broke any rule anyway. You think may have been at his back, but look. Marginal at best or worst. Rucks go at it. Ratton nicely done to Brown. They need to win inside the centre square. Fraser Brown down towards half forward. Jakovic knocks it away from Whitnell. Good shepherd from Banfield. Jakovic goes looking for Cousins. Franchina reaches over the top and thumps it across the boundary line.
It was a good shepherd by Drew Banfield on big Lance Whitnell, because he's a big strong lad. Banfield actually did manage to knock him off his feet, something I couldn't do last year. I had a go, and I don't think he even felt me.
You were getting old. Knocked down by Allen. Taken away by Reid. Reid towards half forward. Manton missed it. McKay's hand pass missed the target. He does it again, Mitchell White, like he's dribbling the footy. Hooks it around the corner. Philip Matera just outside the 50. Uncanny by Mitchell White, knocking it back to himself. Matera centering, kicking a beauty. Can't stop that.
Well, that was good football around there. Very good mark and kick by Phil Matera. And again, Mitchell White just creating something out of a position where a lot of players will end up fumbling that ball and being stuck in a bounce down it further up the ground. Mitchell White kept it ahead of him. Beautiful kick out, strong mark, Phil Matera. And the Eagles having another shot at goal where just real skillful players created it for them.
Well, Perth until this season was a full forward free zone. Suddenly Modra's got 10 on Friday night. Scotty Cummings is kicking for 4 right here. Both of them having good seasons. Gun barrel straights.
Yeah, very good kick by Scott Cummings. And both players, I suppose Modra and Cummings leaving South Australia to come back to Perth, or Cummings back to Perth, Modra over here for the first time. I'm sure both those clubs would be a little bit envious of the number of goals they're kicking for their respective sides at the moment. But Mitchell White, just beautiful balance and ball control, running out onto the left foot to find Phil Matera, who finished off a great kick to Scotty Cummings and a good kick for goal.
Four goals to Scott Cummings. The Eagles lead by 25 points. He's put a lot of work into his kicking. There's Matera, quickly out of the centre square. Malotty stood his ground, thumped away by Manton. Camporelli from the back edge of the centre square. Beaumont pushes out his opponent in Morrison and has given away the free kick.
Yeah, another touchy one. Morrison actually was caught under the ball and probably lost balance going forward. I don't know if there was an actual push.
Cousins, exciting young player, playing his 70th game, one of the best players in the competition. Tough for the Blues in the back line. The ball now coming in very quickly. They pile on top. and they'll ball it up. Scotty Cummings had a lot of trouble with his kicking when he was with the Bombers, but he seems to have a great rhythm now with his kicking. Kicked 8 goals in his very first game of AFL football. So he's been a mighty pickup for the Eagles. Here's McKenna, the general, from halfback, rarely beaten. Kemp trying to kick it off the ground. Goes to Gardner, unloads. Cummings in front of Silvani. This time gets a fist to the ball. Mitchell White. Bradley stood his ground, caught one in the head. Koutafidis just dribbles the ball forward, taken by Braun, 55 metres out. He's looking for Williams. McKay from behind. This could bounce through. It's touched. Just off hands. Through for a behind.
Well, Dean Kemp, just that deflection off the foot. Now, you always say it's a bit of a fluke.
Side-footed that, do we, John?
He's done it a lot of times. You know, it's one of those ones where Dacos kicked so many goals like he did, we stopped saying it was a bit of a fluke. And Kemp has done that so many times. He just knows how to deflect the ball out to his teammates.
It looked that way, didn't it? Allen at full stretch, hard against the line, feeds it back. This is Bradley. Getting plenty of the ball, but all in the defensive half. Craig Bradley runs up towards the wing and kicks towards centre half forward. Jakovic in front, spills the mark. Reid has been very good. Quicksilver gets it across to Morrison. Strong tackle, got him down. Ratton the tackler. Jarred out of there. Taken by McIntosh, who boots it back towards the outer side. In fact, that tackle applied by Beaumont. Now the ball pumped back in immediately by Lappin. Coming through as Metropolis. Free kick though going to Whitnell. To Ulio coming off the ground for Carlton.
Yeah, similar situation to Silvani on Cummings at the other end of the ground, where Jakovic came out and just had body contact with Whitnell as the ball sailed over the head. The umpire deemed that there was enough contact to say that he'd pushed him out of the contest under the ball.
Whitnell, the Blues needing a goal here. He punches at Goldwood, and I think it's okay. It is.
Pretty crucial goal for Carlton, coming from a free kick, but probably a well-earned one. Whitnell led well up the ground. A very good kick to finish it off, but the Eagles were starting to open up a pretty dangerous break. Carlton have now got a goal against the flow, and will try and regroup, balance up their matchups again, get the side functioning well, and start to close that gap on the West Coast Eagles leading into half-time.
The Eagles by 20 points. Some good signs for the Blues. Lance Whitnell has booted 2 goals. Such an important player. Carries a big role at Carlton. Right on the burst, 55 metres out. This is a great kick. He's got it. Hit the post. That would have been a great goal for Carlton.
Would have been a lift to KB, wouldn't it? 2 goals in quick succession to really close the Eagles' lead, and they would have been pumped up.
So if Whitnell can find his best form at centre half forward, it'll be a great focal point. They have been lacking his brilliance. Played the game of the year last year when he booted 8 goals and took about 18 marks. So he's a very talented player. Metropolis between the back pocket and half back. 41 plays 22. The Eagles in front. Metropolis kicks long. Bellotti, high leaper. Bradley just across half back, winning so much of the ball. Tied up as Lappin, dumped.
Good pressure again by the Eagles players. That's what they've been renowned for this year, pressuring the opposition until they can cause a turnover and then running the ball forward.
13 possessions of Craig Bradley. Boundary throw in. Allen versus Gardner. Gardner virtually just shovel the ball out towards Banfield. Still a loose ball. Matera, the juggler, tries to come away with the ball. Franchina, a look away handball back to Lappin. Kicks back towards the half forward line. McIntosh, the high flyer from behind. The Blues need a crummer. Pearce goes to the ground. Cousins, so quick. Bumped over was Braun. Those wonderful hands of Cousins, just a one-grab player, never fumbles, and that's a sign of a really good player.
It makes a huge difference.
And KB, they're tag teaming now as well. Cousins has now got Nelson. Franchina's gone on to Phil Matera, so the kid's so brilliant they're using 2 on him.
Well, he's had 14 possessions and 2 marks already.
Margin 19 points. Gardner slaps it down, intended for Banfield. Murphy working hard. Allen picks it up. Looping hand pass. Rapunda directed it down. Braun comes back to Metropolis, right on his own defensive 50. High kick around the outer side. Bellotti was up. Manton 2. This is Lappin, camped in front, breaks away. under pressure. Couldn't get the kick he wanted. And it goes out of bounds about 35 metres around from the behind post.
Good recovery by Bellotti. Flew for the mark, jumped up, made the chase, and just put enough pressure on to distract that kick a bit.
So boundary throw in. Jankovic comes across, rocking against Whitnell, who's got 2 goals. They missed it. Behind a chance for Ratton. Pulls it back. Has he pulled it back too much? I think so. Just narrowly missed. Brett Ratton. He's had 11 possessions. Game number 173. Played his 100th here at Subi. And the Blues lost badly to Fremantle. His 150th also played here in a loss against the Eagles. Twice best and fairest. Terrific player, working hard. And this battle in the midfield probably accurately reflected on the scoreboard so far. The Eagles doing a little bit the better, although in recent times inclined to gamble inside the centre square at the last 2 or 3 bounces. As McIntosh kicks it in, Gardner drops it to Braun. Untidy hand pass. Murphy crashes in. I think he was hit by his teammate. He's down. Meantime, Camporelli grabs it. Poor kick. Directed across towards Lappin. Hasn't got the ball. Falling to the ground. Hand passes to Camporelli. Well done by Morrison. He really stretched to knock it down. Down went Ratton. Plenty of players around him. And a whistle and a ball up. Murphy's okay. He's on his feet.
Yeah, I think it was definitely Allen coming through, who just trying to take Morrison out. Clipped Murphy on the way. Just flicked him on the jaw, which is never that pleasant.
Glancing blow. Justin Murphy, 11 possessions so far. Beaumont trying to go through. Camporelli to Lappin inside the 50 with a kick. Whitnell shielded the ball very well. Jankovic couldn't get past him. Whitnell, vacant square, heads for home. Metropolis needs a fist on this one with Hamill. Off hands and across the line. Carlton creep closer.
Looking dangerous here. Lance Whitnell now looking dangerous. They've moved him into the goal square, so he's taken Jankovic down to full back, and Whitnell's going to aim to lead out hard, as he did on that occasion, and take some marks out in front.
The Eagles by 17 points. Punda in the back pocket. He's having a fantastic season. Whitnell again gets there first, off hands. Boundary throw-in.
KB, Dean Kemp is having a spell on the bench. Paul Simmons is now onto Craig Bradley.
And I see Pearce is coming off for Carlton, and Adrian Hickmott coming on for the Blues. Allen and Gardner. Gardner wins the ball, then lost it. Reid falls on top of the ball, and again they'll ball it up. So boundary ball up on centre wing. 41 plays 24, the West Coast by 17 points. Matera happy to take the ball back over the line.
Carlton have done well there to tighten the game up again, haven't they? Because the Eagles did look like they were starting to break away. They were running the ball very quickly. Carlton have really tightened up and made it a tougher game for the Eagles now. Punda didn't really hit a target. Lappin shoveled the ball out. Camporelli starting to win a fair bit of the ball as well. Bradley has to thump the ball back. Taken away by Franchina inside the centre square. Unloads, gives it both barrels. On the lead is Beaumont. He's got it. A great slips catch. Feeds the ball off to Fraser Brown. Squeezed up on the boundary line, short to Franchina. He will shoot from 35 metres out. Interesting handball to Fraser Brown running. He was running boundary side. It was from wherever he got it. It was always going to be a very tough shot at goal. Beaumont really stretching out to wrap that one up. Flicked it off to Brown. Wasn't going to put Brown in a very good position, but the actual fumble straightened him up, and he managed to find Franchina. Well, he's booted 3 goals for the season. It's an important kick for Carlton. Franchina from 35 metres out. The roar tells the story. He's off target. Well, I've missed a couple of fairly crucial ones. Saw the Eagles miss some easy ones in the first quarter. Carlton now spraying the goals a bit. Any of those goals would have been very handy again just to close the margin on the Eagles players.
So the Blues dominating the game, but unable to get a goal. Morrison in the back pocket to Metropolis, still inside the defensive 50. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to half time. Braun, he's seen a lot of the ball. 18 possessions now for Braun. Manton launched himself, but he wasn't required. In from the side, Whitnell, but a free kick has been paid. It's going to Embley against Manton. Philip Matera, a couple of goals this afternoon. Cousins in an awkward situation, the ball hanging in the air, and Nelson able to come across and just knock it out. So boundary throw in the attacking side of left centre wing for the West Coast Eagles, who lead by 16 points now. Allen and Gardner. Gardner props in front. Allen directs it down at the back. Nicely done. Manton's got it to Murphy. Feeds it back to Bradley. Bradley goes off a step and floats it out towards the wing. Whitnell's the target. Over the top, Jankovic. Loose ball down in front. Can Braun keep it in? Well, initially for one bounce he did. Brown coming across and we'll have a throw in. Testing time in this game now. Carlton really making a surge. Not getting a result though. Allen missed it. Banfield tried to crash his way through. Camporelli did nicely. Heard a voice. Franchina kicks towards half forward. Beaumont, who's been very good, knocks it on. McKenna leads back in the race though. Morrison breaking for him. That's the direction the kick takes. Morrison can take it and go now. Not much on down the ground. As a result, had to check. Comes back towards the middle. Rintoul feeds it across to McKenna. McKenna inside the centre square. Spots Banfield. What a marvellous kick. What a marvellous kick. Banfield about 55 metres out. Philip Matera leads to the middle. That's ignored. Cousins drifting down towards the square. Will be in the contest. Pushing the back, says the umpire.
I've seen a bit of this today. The umpires are paying the ones where the players mainly are using their body to get the opposition out of the way. Cousins just a slight little nudge. Probably did have his hand on the back. The umpire's really onto that.
Allen a good grab to Murphy. So some run here for Carlton. Fraser Brown ambles around centre wing. He was looking for Hamill off hands. Great take by Ratton. Rockets the ball back to Murphy, who's run hard down from half back. This could bounce through for the Blues. He's got it.
Great kick.
Was a great kick by Murphy, but a sensational handball by Ratton. Just put it perfectly out in front of Murphy. Didn't have to break stride and knew what was ahead of him. Once you have to slow down or take your eye off the ball to see what's coming, it does, you lose your momentum. But on that occasion, Ratton just the perfect handball in front of Murphy. Just knew he just had to run on, take possession of it, and ran in a good long kick, sailed it through for a goal. And Carlton have done well to get that one on the board.
Justin Murphy's first goal, Carlton's fourth. He's had now 14 possessions, his season's high 31 against Collingwood in round 2. Allen comes at it hard and wins it down. This is where they've improved. Camporelli goes in, held to him, ball up. They were getting towelled up inside the centre square there in the opening 15 minutes of the term. They really have done much better towards half time. And again, Allen. Brown got it to Lappin. Lappin hand passes to Camporelli. Back to Brown. Brown running down towards centre half forward. Spots Hamill. And Hamill is marked about 35 metres out. Slight angle. And you would expect him to kick this one.
Rotating all their players through the full forward position, Carlton. Just not letting the Eagles players get settled into their normal positions. We've seen Jankovic back there. McIntosh out at the half back line, but on this occasion having to go back to the goal square, and they just can't get settled into their normal routine of play. And the Carlton forwards are making the most of the space and the opportunity to get away from it.
Margin is 10 points. Hamill's kick is true. It's back to 4.
Just very good football by Carlton. He said that after a great start to the second quarter by the West Coast Eagles, they kicked a few easy goals. Carlton tightened up, forced a goal forward, and then they've missed a few easy shots, but they've just kept on top of the Eagles, worked very hard, and now the goals are starting to come from them. They've closed that margin right down to 4 points and looking pretty dangerous. The Eagles haven't looked like going forward for a goal in the last 10 minutes.
Plenty of spirit by Carlton. They drag it back to a 4-point ball game. They were 25 points down in this term. Camporelli winning a lot of the ball. So's Bradley. Unloads a big bomb. Here comes Whitnell's going to hit him hard. Metropolis showed plenty of courage. Stood his ground. Take the VC.
Very, very good mark. Had plenty of time to think about it, didn't he?
And
Camped under it.
He would have heard Whitnell coming.
No doubt he would have heard Whitnell coming. Whitnell actually didn't have his eyes on the ball the last few strides, which is always a worry. But Metropolis kept his eyes on the ball and earned the free kick.
Jakovic made it hard for Morrison. Oh, Bellotti, magnificent. Across to Simmons. They feed the ball around. Williams gives it back to Kemp straight off the interchange bench. Has been caught.
Good chase, good pressure.
So the Blues have gone up a cold. Lappin, kick's been smothered by Kemp on the rebound. A chance for Cummings. Some pushing and shoving. Silvani goes to ground and he's got the free kick.
I don't know what happened there. It was his own teammate who cannoned into him. Well, the umpire got confused. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the replay and see if there was a free kick against Cummings in that contest. He certainly looks bewildered, Cummings.
Yes, his own man.
Yeah, I think the umpire, there was a grab on Silvani's jumper, and then Cummings knew he was out of position, pushed Silvani into that contest.
Good signs there for Carlton. Kudafidi is out in front with strong hands in front of Mitchell White. Hamill is on the half-forward line. Gives the lead to Kudafidi. He's got him in his sights. Just a bit too much carry on the ball. Punda, magic skills, comes away from centre wing. Drops it short, looking for Banfield. Controls it well. Weaves his way out of trouble. Drills it, looking for Cummings. Couldn't take the chest mark. Silvani, the tackler. Crashes into the ground. McKay under pressure. Had it and lost it. Simmons, another great tackle, that time by Kudafidis. The Carlton defence working hard. Kudafidis of old tried to weave his way out of trouble. McKay goes to the ground. Simmons over the top of the ball. They'll ball it up. And we've got a great contest here at Subiaco. 41 plays, 37. The Eagles by 4 points.
A great contest, KB. Neither side. The Eagles just trying to find a bit of space in there. Carlton go no opportunity at all.
Almost half-time. Allen goes up, was pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick. Minute 50 till the major break. Bradley again sweeping behind the pack. Drives it up towards the wing. In from the side, Rice. Getting a fist on it, McKenna. Down in front, Brown. Gets it across to Ratton. Ratton kicks towards half-forward. All Eagles back there. Kemp is peeling off as Morrison has the ball. Morrison gets it to him. Jakovic is cruising past, ignored. Kemp goes up the middle. Simmons has got it now. 10 metres forward at the centre circle. The West Coast Eagles suddenly finding a little more as he goes to Mitchell White. White about 75 metres out from goal. Allen is drifting back, plugging that hole in front of Cummings. And Cummings now decides that he'll wait, and the ball goes to Banfield meantime, just inside the attacking 50.
Justin Murphy throwing his arms in the air. Banfield's his direct opponent. He was forced to man up another player. Craig Bradley was the player, just caught a little bit short on that occasion, didn't run quickly across enough to get Banfield before the kick got to him.
Important kick, this one. Eagles lead by 4 points, but Carlton generally on balance of play in the last 10 minutes, the dominant side. Banfield has tugged it, searching for extra distance, and he's missed to the right-hand side. Margin is 5 points.
Not a lot of
seconds remaining.
Spark across the half-forward line for the Eagles. Kudafidi's done a very good job on Mitchell White. Glenn Manton's done a great job on Donnelly first, and then on Bellotti. Neither of those players have been able to have an influence.
Bradley, the oldest man in the game. What a player he's been. Finds Silvani. Goes to McKay. So they share the ball around in the back half to Bradley. Some run out of the back pocket, short to Franchina. They set the loose player up to Hickmott. They've done it well from the last line of defence. Beaumont's under pressure. Morrison hits it hard. Great tackle by Ratton. Tied up. He'll be pinged.
Bad luck. Brett Ratton just went very hard in, put it on a great tackle, but was caught with the ball underneath him when Guy McKenna was the next player to lay the tackle.
Just no attempt to knock the ball out. The siren sounds. We end a terrific first half of football. It's a 5-point ball game. 42 plays, 37. 6-6-42 to 5-7-37. Blues were down 25 points during that second term, but they've dragged it back with some great forward play by Lance Whitnell, and also the midfield with Bradley doing well across half-back. Camporelli and Fraser Brown also lifted their ratings as we see Mick Malthouse comes down from the stand. Glenn Jakovic there, and his hands full as well. Lance Whitnell finding some of that form that's made him one of the best young players in the game.
Doubleheader Sunday coming to you from Subiaco Oval at half-time. The West Coast just in front. Enough. 6-6-5-7. Started the second half. Allen and Gardner. Gardner has to wait. Allen knocks it down. Ratton quickly away to Brown. Into the path of Camporelli. Running it down towards half forward. Comes back now Camporelli. Still plenty of time. Goes down towards Hamill. In close attendance McIntosh. It falls to Rice, but Rice a wayward kick. Puts it out of bounds on the full in the forward pocket. Dean Rice back this afternoon after injury. Now Jakovic. So Carlton getting it first out of the centre square again. That was the secret of their transformation in the second quarter. Jakovic hugs the boundary with a kick towards Gardner. Allen gave a contest, good enough. Nelson stood his ground to Ratton. Braun right there with him. McKay feeds it back towards the middle, ill-directed. Coming through is Brown. Brown wanted to take on the tackler first, and that was bad form. Simmons will get the free kick. Thought better of it, I think. Pulled his punch, but he was committed. Fraser Brown, 18 votes in the Brownlow last season. Missed a couple of games through suspension. Williams to Cousins. Cousins towards half forward. Cummings drops another chest mark. Kemp's over the ball, shovels it out. Philip Matera. Here's trouble for the Blues. Comes back towards Mitchell White. Bounces obligingly though for the defender Silvani. Silvani almost gave it up to Kemp. Picked up there by Lappin. Lappin lays it off. Franchina run down by Embley. Embley runs another player down, but in the interim he's got the free kick. Andrew Embley, playing schoolboy football last season for Trinity College here in Perth, has this ball at centre half forward, wasting no time, goes long down towards full forward, going back Manton, always a trademark of his, very good overhead, feeds it to Nelson.
Been very surprised the way that Scotty Cummings has led Silvani to the ball today. Matthew Allen backing back, ball taken over the line by McKenna.
Good hard chase by Andrew Embley. Just wrap him up, knocked the ball free. Franchina couldn't get rid of it effectively, and the umpire pinged him for holding the ball. The
Eagles led by 2 points at quarter time and 5 points at half time. Blues came back in that second quarter. They trailed by 25 points at one stage, showed plenty of fight. Simmons takes the ball over. Murphy thought it was on the full.
I think he was right too.
Gives the ball back too, in not the nicest of terms to the boundary umpire. Allen takes the front position. Gardner over the top. Braun, a fantastic first half. Again, toss back in. There's Braun on screen. 18 possessions and 3 marks in the first half. You see the bench there for the Eagles. Gardner and Allen have been at it all day. Simmons to Mitchell White. Here's Cummings again out in front of Silvani. Takes it on the half volley. All tied up. The Eagles fans thought he was caught high. Bradley thought it should have been a free kick to Silvani. Braun squeezed on the boundary line. Mitchell White, a centering kick. Some pushing and shoving. Embley was there as well. Manton on hands and knees. Tied up by Kemp. Ball kicked off the ground towards Murphy. Kemp again at the bottom of the pack. Burrows in. Embley's there with Murphy as well in a headlock. And they'll ball it up just 15 metres out from goal.
You can see the players, KB, they've put a high price on the first goal this quarter. Both teams very desperate. The Eagles looking dangerous, trying to get one on the board, and Carlton really holding them up at this stage.
Murphy looks to be in a bit of trouble. He injured that knee against Geelong in round 5. Getting some attention. Silvani went in hard, so did Matera. Trying to Fossick the ball out. Clean bowled was Gardner, taken away by Camporelli. Handballed out in the open. Murphy is recovered. A drink of Lewis's water taken by Williams. Rockets the ball wide. Didn't really find a target. Taken by Lappin. Finds Ratton, a hard worker. Kemp the tackler. Fantastic opening minutes here in this third term. Williams off target. Puts it over the line on the full.
Pretty intense football to start this quarter.
Crunch.
Looks like, yeah, he was actually holding his other knee, so I think he looks okay now.
Matthew Allen alongside the behind post, hoisted high towards the outer side. Oh, big leap from Lappin. Likes that situation. McKay hand passes towards the boundary line. Murphy takes it across. So a throw in just outside the attacking 50 for the West Coast Eagles. This game very much in the balance. Overcast day now. Just ideal for footy. Hardly any breeze. About 17 degrees. Simmons onto the loose ball. Cousins left it behind. Wapunda Fed it back again. Cousins. Carlton relentless in here. Where Punda confronted. Had it knocked away by Camporelli. Controlled it pretty well in a tight situation. Comes to Banfield. Metropolis is run down, but not before he got it back to Banfield. To Jakovic. Spots Simmons, and Simmons is marked about 70 metres out from goal. Where's Cummings? Not required. White's got it. His understanding with Cummings is very good. Matera gets in the road this time, so Cummings just the one option. That's a beautiful kick. They are on the same page, these two. I noticed a moment ago White had the ball. It was almost mental telepathy. The kick wasn't good enough. It didn't carry to Cummings, but perfectly placed. And now Cummings has got this one about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, going at number 5.
I think it helps the full forward too, Dennis, knowing that the guy is looking for you and he's going to try and get it to you. Makes them really want to lead and find that space. And Cummings, you can see his eyes light up. Mitchell White gets it and he's ready to go. He knows Mitchell's going to look for him.
Helps the kicking too. I think players feel a sense of responsibility. Scott Cummings. Oh, well, there you go. Behind.
Well, that first goal up for grabs still in this quarter. Pretty tight game. Those misses are fairly crucial on both sides have let go some opportunities.
The Eagles by a goal. Dulio onto the ground. Camporelli off for Carlton. Bradley. It's been one of the Blues' best players. Short to Franchina. Started the game on Cousins. It was taken from the field and replaced by Nelson. Cousins has caused the Blues a lot of problems. 15 possessions and 2 marks. Franchina pumps the ball back. Kudafidi sets himself in front. Big pack of players punched over the line that time by Matthew Allen.
KB, I'll give you the benches for Carlton. Hume, Pearce, Higmont and Diulio has just gone onto the ground. Camporelli came off. For the Eagles, Donnelly, Rintoul, Holmes and Bellotti. Michael Gardner with a big job on Matthew Allen now.
The Eagles by 6 points. Allen to the defensive side, taken away by Cousins. Tries to set it up. Wonderful footwork. Just dances around his opponent there in Nelson. Kick drops short, marked by Silvani. So 4 goals kicked on him by Scotty Cummings. So it's been a tough afternoon for Silvani. Manton in front. A big fist over the back there by Jakovic. He's had a couple of goals kicked on him by Lance Whitnell. It's always team lifting for that big punch. Ratton leaves it for Nelson to do the ruck work. Braun kicks it off the ground out of the hands of Bradley. Here comes Matera, the danger man. He's booted too. Is a slippery customer. Philip Matera, 15 metres out, bangs it through.
Well, that's pretty exciting football, isn't it? Great turn of speed. Actually slowed up on his approach to the footy. Waited to see how the ball was going to bounce. Once he knew it was going to sit up, then he accelerated, took possession. A very, very sharp turn on the boundary side. Just have a look at him as he takes possession of the footy, then he accelerates on a real sharp turn, runs in. Had Scotty Cummings over the top if he wanted him, but elected to kick it on his left himself and finished off very well. That goal was coming for a long time.
Philip Matera, 24 goals for the season. His best 5 against the Western Bulldogs back in round 6. 3 today. Just two goal kickers for the West Coast Eagles. Out of the centre, Braun towards half forward. Kudafides in front. Kudafides plays on, squares it. Murphy is at right half back. Beaumont breaking for him. That's the direction the kick takes. Well done. Nice kick too. So Beaumont now on the wing. Spots Allen. Well worked by Carlton. Allen ranges around on that left foot. Centering one intended for Hamill. McIntosh timely fist on the ball. Coming through his Reed. In the opposite direction was Nelson. Controlled well by Simmons. Got it away. Jakovic, the hurried kick from a standing start towards the outer side. It pitches inside the field of play and stays in. Beaumont confronted by Kemp. Couldn't do much there. Had to wait on the ball, and then Kemp was making ground towards him. And that was time enough. So it's out of bounds. Throw in on the wing. 7-7 to 5-7. Next goal important here. They're all important, I guess, today. Low scoring affair. Gardner knocks it down. This is Lappin. Breaks the Kemp tackle. Drives the ball high down towards right half forward. Ratton very strong in the body. pushed Werpunder away, gave it to Hamill, and Hamill, a marvellous kick-off balance, headed towards the boundary line, had to get it around on the angle, and found Whitnell a couple of paces in from the boundary.
It was a very good kick. And again, to the advantage of the leading player in Whitnell, just so that he could turn his body inside. Djakovic had absolutely no chance of getting his arm around to make contact with the ball. So
Whitnell going at his third, sharp angle. Crowd like it, so I guess he's missed. No easy kick from there.
Camporelli's back on the ground for D'Aulio. He obviously had to go off and get something seen to, but he's back on the ground. McIntosh
in the back pocket. We saw David Parkin working the phone. Coached Subiaco for a season in the local competition. Mind you, the facilities have improved a bit since then. McIntosh short to Simmons. So the margin is 9 points. Back to McIntosh. Runs out of the back pocket. Goes to midfield. Waiting at the back, Manton. Lays it off to Rice. Rice virtually straight across the ground. Pinpoints it. Finds Allen.
From centre wing. He was looking for Hickmott. Got his hands on the ball, couldn't quite take it. Camporelli back onto the ground, under pressure, heads towards the line. 49 plays, 38. The Eagles by 11 points. Scott Camporelli straight back on the ground. It was caught here by Simmons, very close to holding the ball, headed towards the line. The Eagles fans wanted a free kick as Allen pushing and shoving, taken away by Fraser Brown. Works hard in close. Murphy bundled off the ball that time by Banfield. Does well to Morrison. Hands and knees. Strength by Banfield. Free kick. Whistle's gone. We'll go to Chad Morrison. Just over 12 minutes left in this third term. Reid pumps the ball back. It's a poor kick. And Manton has had a fair game taken away by Bradley. The playmaker sets it up to Camporelli. Short to Hamill. Long way out from goal, playing in front of McIntosh. Whitnell wants the ball kicked quickly into the forward line.
Free kick down the ground, KB's.
Now it's against Glenn Djakovic.
Just a little tug on the jumper. The umpire saw one little hold as both players were trying to get themselves in position. Djakovic better be careful. No, too late.
And 50 metres.
50 metres. The players would have been told of this new rule, or that the umpires were going to crack down on the existing rule.
And they won't take any abuse. That's come through from Peter Schwab, that the umpires now will not take any abuse, any language, and that 50 metres will be applied.
There wasn't much there, though.
No, not much at all.
Lance Whitnell bangs it through. He's booted 3 goals, 2 to Whitnell, a return to form.
I think there'll be a fair bit of discussion about just this
a bit frayed here.
Yeah, obviously the players trying to get to Djakovic, giving away a 50-metre penalty, but we just see the umpires obviously seen a little bit of a hold on the jumper there by Djakovic, but not really impeding the player at all, and probably something the umpires have to decide whether there's an impeding the player or not.
Well, if that's a free kick, we wouldn't get much footy played. Back in the middle, knocked down by Gardner. Braun. Or was it Cousins? Cousins towards half forward. The mark is taken by Mitchell. Mitchell White, that is. Cousins runs on. There it is again.
Just about picked that one, Dennis.
Well, Scott Cummings leading today has been just absolutely fantastic. He's found space. He's been quick to accelerate. He's dropped a couple of easy marks, John, but he's certainly given himself a lot of space. Yeah, there's not too many times that you see a full forward playing on Stephen Silvani that they actually do get away with. They take the mark without Silvani at least being, putting that physical pressure on them. But Cummings has really led well, very hard, and pushes off the mark sharply, and he's been able to just get that 2 or 3 metre break that he's needed on Silvani. Going for number 5 then. We've taken a few shots from here at training, and through it goes. Important one. Yeah, that was an important goal. The Eagles managing to kick a couple and starting just to open up a little bit of a lead again over Carlton. But a pretty tough, tight game. It just seems to me today that it's going to be the team that makes the most of those opportunities and just can not let the opposition
either close that gap or get in front that's going to win the game. And the Eagles are still, at this stage, making more of their opportunities than Carlton.
Five goals to Scott Cummings. Kicked 1 goal in the first quarter, 3 in that second quarter. And now his first goal coming again in this third term. So 5 games to the big man. What a pick-up he's been for the West Coast Eagles. Started with Essendon, a couple of seasons with Port Adelaide. But all of a sudden, looks to be a top full forward. Murphy stands and delivers. Out in front was Whitnell. Off hands. No free kick. Metropolis thought he was caught high. Hickmott under pressure. Tackled by Simmons. They want holding the ball. The Blues force the ball forward. Ratton's good in the clinches. Here comes Fraser Brown. Tied up by Jakovic. A fired up Glenn Jakovic. And they'll ball it up. Front edge of the centre square for the Blues. 55 plays 44. Fraser Brown. Glenn Jakovic. A couple of Warriors at Subiaco. Jakovic with a nasty scratch there on the back of the head. The Blues trail by 11 points. Braun been so good today to Gardner. Emerging young ruck star. Great mark by Mitchell White. It's been a good duel between Mitchell White and Koutafidis.
Just edging his way on top in this quarter. Mitchell White's been pretty good in this third quarter for the Eagles so far. Koutafidis probably won the first half.
Mitchell White, 55 metres out. Cummings stands his ground. Manton took the front position. Cummings kicks a goal. He's got 6.
And they worked it out again, I think, he and White.
Yeah, it wasn't as sweet that time or as clean, but it was still White to kick in and Cummings the goal, which we've seen a lot today. Scott Cummings just showing again the value of just staying in the contest. The Carlton players couldn't clear the ball away with the spoil. Manton probably should have punched it away. It's a very risky situation to drop a mark like that. And Cummings swooped on the ball. Wasn't never going to miss from that situation.
So a testing time right here for the Blues. 9.5 minutes away from three-quarter time. And they're down by 17 points. Rucks go at it. The bounce favouring Allen. Knocks it down to Murphy alongside the centre circle. A hand pass not very effective. Picked up in fact by Simmons, who boots towards half forward. Bradley goes back and takes the mark. Coming up for his 19th possession. Craig Bradley. Used almost exclusively this afternoon across half back. Taking plenty of time. One of 7 players from the Blues who played last Saturday in the State of Origin game. Will that be a factor as this game runs its course? A battle on the outer side wing and a ball up. It was a heavy ground last week. It's a quick surface here this afternoon where Punda goes back in defence. Gardner knocks it down. Murphy has to wait. They descend on him. Simmons, who's been lively, threads it back to Banfield. The hurried kick. There's a whistle. And it's coming back to Simmons, who'll take a free kick on the outer side. I remember early in his career a real baptism of fire against Anthony Koutafidis. Round 5, 1996 at Princes Park, as it was. Koutafidis 18 marks. 35 possessions and a virtuoso performance, and most of the day it was Simmons who stood him. Simmons in short. Williams has it. Midway between the lines, wing and half forward. The young Victorian kicks inside the 50. Silvani in front this time. Leads Cummings to the ball. A little bit of bad blood as Silvani tries to break free. And fair enough too.
Well, he decided to play way out in front that time, Dennis. He's obviously knows Cummings leads well. When the ball's a bit further up the ground, you can afford to play a bit further in front, and took a strong mark.
So Silvani up from the back pocket, miscues with a kick. It's not a good one, but it's effective. It finds Ratton as we watch them grapple. And now the ball from Ratton has gone out of bounds on the bounce.
Ratton played on quick then, Dennis, but they didn't have a lot of room to work with. It was always going to be very congested, and they went boundary side, and the Eagles have been able to force it out.
So boundary throw in on the wing. Again, plenty happening. Gardner directs it down. Williams in the grasp. Camporelli did it nicely to Ratton. Back to Camporelli. He's away. The leading goal scorer for the Blues. Kicks down towards full forward. It runs on, but wide of the mark and behind. Good pressure from Simmons to affect the kick.
It was good play by Camporelli to set himself away using Ratton. Both players got goal side of the pack away from any Eagles opponents. a good hard chase by Simmons just put enough pressure on to affect the kick.
McIntosh to Braun, possession number 22. Bradley, been one of Carlton's best players today. Played across half-back, now playing on Cousins. Been on Kemp for most of the game. Banfield rockets the ball to Gardner inside the centre square. Just keeps on running, Ben Cousins. Drills it. Cummings out in front. Bumped away that time by Silvani. Taken away by Williams to the square. Some pushing and shoving. Just get bounced through. Over the top was Matera. Acrobatic Philip Matera. Couldn't pull off a miracle boot on the ball. And forced through for a behind.
Yeah, spectacular. He had a fair runner at Matera. He took off to get to that contest in the goal square. Left his opponent behind, but as it ended out, the ball just didn't quite bounce for him. We see Matera running extremely hard to the front of this pack here. It just sat up a bit high, but McKay did well to get his body in the contest.
Ranchina also good defensive play to put it through for a behind. Ratton pumps the ball wide. It's a poor kick being taken by the General McKenna. Playing game number 245. It's on the half-forward line. It's got a loose player in Kemp. Murphy stands the mark. 62 plays 45, so the Eagles by 17 points. Philip Matera out in front of Franchina. Some body work. Forces him under the ball. Trickles over the boundary line. 9-8-62 to 6-9-45. Scotty Cummings has booted 6 goals. Philip Matera 3. Just the 2 goal kickers for the West Coast Eagles. Manton tried to take it out of the air, punched out of his hands. Ratton, hard worker. Matera, the danger man. Look out. He's got it. He's got 4.
He certainly is a much improved player, KB. We spoke about it at half-time. Now, Phil Matera's one player who's obviously gone away over one pre-season and just decided what he had to do to become a better AFL footballer. And just his contribution on the forward line really does match that of Scott Cummings for the Eagles this year. Cummings has really added a lot to the side, but Phil Matera has been absolutely outstanding and really improved his kicking.
Quite amazing. Scott Cummings has got 6 goals. Philip Matera 4. The Eagles have 10. Braun couldn't control it. Now Reid in some congestion, kicking down towards half-forward. This will be interesting. Plenty of skill on display here. Bradley and Kemp. Something of an anticlimax. It goes out of bounds. Free kick to Bradley. Bradley at right half-back. Just under 6 minutes till three-quarter time. The Blues need a goal here. Murphy. Ronda Ulio comes back onto the ground. A long way from the action. Murphy goes for distance down towards half-forward. Beaumont in front and from the side. Punda knocking it a long way wide. Cousins got it to Reid. They combine again. Reid, good evasion initially and kicks to half-forward. Morrison, great courage. Tidying up behind Bradley. Now a chance for Carlton. De Ulio slipped over. Feeds it to Murphy. Simmons closing. Murphy not a good kick inside the 50. Jakovic knocks it away from Whitnell. Wide of the pack. Here's a chance now for Camporelli. 65 metres out. Too tall to kick for Metropolis. It was well weighted. Centimetre perfect. The man just getting in behind. That was Lappin. It got there, and now Lappin will kick it goal from about 35 metres out.
He's worked well, worked himself back into the game, Camporelli. Started a little bit slowly. Banfield picked him up at the start of the game. Ended up then going forward, but he's really worked well back into it.
No easy kick, this one. Good effort, though. That's a marvellous kick. Lappin gets the goal.
That's a very good kick by Lappin. And the goal that Carlton needed, we've seen them miss some easy opportunities. That one, a real tough one that they've taken. And again, each time, we saw it in the first half, the Eagles started to make a bit of a gap between the two sides. Carlton have certainly hung in there. And that goal there just draws them back to within striking distance again. They've been pretty dogged today, Carlton. They haven't looked like getting to the front, but they haven't let the Eagles get too far away from them.
Just under 5 minutes left in this third term. The Blues won't go away. They trail by 17 points. Lappin's just kicked his 13th goal for the season, so he's been a handy pickup as well. There's a throw. So a chance for the Blues. Here's Beaumont inside the centre square. Hamill out in front of McIntosh. He's kicked 2 goals, both goals coming in the first half. Pearce on a lead. That's been ignored. Hamill fancies his chances. This is going all the way. This is right to the line. This could have bounced through. He's got it.
Well, that's pretty average play, Dennis. We saw it in the first half, in the first quarter. The Eagles just not getting any players back to put some pressure on the goal line. Hamill was always going to struggle to make the distance with that kick. Gardner's already back in the centre of the ground waiting for the knock. He needed to be up there. He can afford to leave his man run up and get on the goal line. Doesn't matter if Allen takes a mark. He's still going to have a shot from a fair way out. But there's no excuses for getting a goal like that.
Disappointing defence from the West Coast Eagles, but a timely and exciting goal for Carlton. Camporelli in front, Simmons over the top. Clearly, neither of them touched the ball.
Coaches say, Dennis, it's a game of inches. Simmons is only an inch or 2 away from that ball, but it's still 6 points to Carlton.
Gardner crashes in. They have got the better of it. Brown went down. Allen spinning out of trouble, eventually throws it on the boot. It wanders out towards the wing. Beaumont, unkind bounce. Wapunda gets back, hand passes to his own advantage, swoops on it, around the outer side he goes. Braun, so lively this afternoon, Michael Braun, down towards half forward. Mitchell White's in front of Koutafidis. Only his 24th match he played in a premiership team with the Eagles. Mitchell White goes looking for Cummings, in from the side. Reid picked up by Silvani, got it away. Allen over the top, nicely done. Murphy kept his head. Nelson in trouble. Well done. The hand pass was effective. McKay's kick, though, ineffective. Going back, the mark is held by McIntosh. Man on in the middle. That's Metropolis. Metropolis had to stretch. It was too tall for him. Chance for Carlton. Brown. Rebound opportunity. Then goes out to Beaumont. Running hard for him to Ulio. On short. Just a few metres further afield is Ratton. He's got it now. Feeds it wide to Bradley. The old heads combining. Bradley to the middle. Hamill in the self-same position he kicked the goal from moments ago. And Carlton again strong towards the latter part of the term. Now let's see if they get a ruckman down there this time. Well, at least Metropolis is going deep, although Pearce is with him. And McKenna's about 15 metres out, so it's 2-on-1 down there. But Michael Gardner hasn't got a man. Just having a drink back near centre half back. It's quite perplexing.
Well, it is certainly something that is addressed by Mick Malthouse. I know he gets angry if balls get across that line, and there was no one there to put the pressure on. It's generally the big player that's got to be there.
He's not even marking Allen, so there goes the kick from Hamill. And I tell you what, he's got another one, and nobody could have touched that.
Well, Carlton well back on top again now after the Eagles dominated the first part of this quarter. Carlton just really hanging in there, been very impressed with the way they've stuck at it. They haven't dropped their heads when the Eagles have started to open up a gap, and maybe it's been the Eagles players that have just taken their foot off the pedal as they've got a bit of a lead. Carlton have really hung in there strong today and kicking some good long goals to keep them well in the game.
Plenty of spirit at Carlton. Hamill's booted 4. They're within 5 points. 2.5 minutes left in this third term. Whitnell has been very good today. Couldn't find Hume. Going in hard was Reid. Banfield lends support. Rockets the ball wide. Feeds it off to Simmons. Arches the back. Gets around Hume. Rockets the ball also to Braun, who's been outstanding today on the burst. That touch of speed out in front. Here's Cummings. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Silvani pulls him off the ball. Knocked out that time by Cummings. Koutafidis has turned back the clock today as well. Bradley from the half back line has been magnificent and finds Allen. You get the feeling, John, that the Blues just sense they can cause a boil over here today. Hamill booted 4. This time it's punched out of his hands by Metropolis. A shake of the head and a boundary throw in.
Carlton
under 2 minutes left.
Looking very sharp again. And now it's the Eagles who are again under pressure, trying to hold them out.
Well, they got out to a 23-point lead at one stage in this third term, so the Blues keep coming back. It was 25 points in that second term. Here's Beaumont. He's taken 8 marks today, pulled off the ball. Camporelli has lifted his rating, gets the ball out wide. Nelson to Lappin. A danger man, a touch of brilliance. Somehow speared that handball back to Hamill, goes short and finds Pearce. this to put Carlton in front.
What a kick by Hamill.
And terrific hands by Lappin. Just squeezed that ball out.
Hamill's been very dangerous this quarter. He hit Whitnell earlier on in the quarter with a great kick, as we called it, and that time finding Pearce, and he's kicked a couple himself. So he's proving a real handful for McIntosh, drawing McIntosh up the ground, finding a bit more space.
Pearce has just booted the 3 goals this year. Had knee problems in '98. But here's a goal kicker directly in front. Bangs it through. The Blues are in front by a point.
That puts the pressure right back on the West Coast Eagles players now that they're actually behind Carlton. It does play on your mind that you've got to start to work just to get back in front now. Carlton are up. They're pumped up and working hard. The Eagles will start to think that they have to find goals. All they have to do, both teams playing very well, keep hard at it. One side's going to score more goals from this point. Doesn't really matter which is in front.
Carlton, just so impressive. What a terrific performance. Over 3 goals behind earlier in the term, and they've come back. A chance to add to their lead as Allen boots it down towards half forward. Wapunda came across, couldn't control the ball. Whitnell, Wapunda knocks it away. They battle on. Ratton after it. 35 seconds till 3/4 time. Spills wide to Reed. Taken front on by Manton, who was waiting in ambush, and will have a bounce. Clock continues to run. Carlton by a point against all odds. They have stuck to it this afternoon. Gardner only as far as Hamill. So influential. Can the Blues get a late goal here? Simmons in the road. Hand passes out wide. Wapunda comes away. Down to 8 seconds now. He finds Kemp. Kemp plays on immediately. They need the mark here, the West Coast Eagles, to get a goal. It bounces in front of Cummings. Taken by Franchina. There's the siren. 3/4 time. Fantastic performance by Carlton. That's twice now. They fell off the pace midway through the 2nd quarter and came back. And again in that 3rd term, seemed to be falling away, then dug deep, found something, challenged the Eagles, and lo and behold, at 3/4 time, they're in front by a point. It's Carlton looking at an upset, 10-9 to 10-8. No doubt about me, I'm perceptive. Start of the final term. 10-9 to 10-8. Gardner and Allen. The Rucks go at it. Allen wins it down. Taken by Brown. Rintoul ran him down from behind. Held in there. Oh. A couple of feisty customers. And a free kick is going to Fraser Brown. Well, the umpire was right there. Must have seen something he did not like as Brown kicks in looking for Pearce. Missed it. Morrison falling to the ground. Vaughan gets the hand pass away. Simmons spins out of trouble. Nicely done. Comes back to Morrison. Not a good hand pass. Rice, though, had to wait. Braun left it behind. A sense of fair play. Eventually, Rice knocked it across to Beaumont. Beaumont off the step. Kicks inside the 50. McIntosh was up. Pearce gave it contest. Play on's the call. Ratton's got it. 40 metres out. Turns around and kicks a goal. What a start for Carlton.
Well, that was a great start for Carlton. A little bit of doubt. I thought McIntosh marked it. It's one of those real tight ones, but I think McIntosh certainly took control of the ball before Pearce knocked it out. That's what the crowd's not happy about. See McIntosh, real touch and go, but I would have paid the mark.
Yeah, that's a mark.
Ratton was there, recovered a very good left foot kick under pressure to get the goal, and that's a very handy goal. First goal this last quarter to Carlton.
Well, there's Brett Ratton on screen kicking that goal. That mark should have been paid to McIntosh. So lucks of fortune for the Blues. 75 plays 68. A lead by 7 points.
And KB, one thing not going their way, Anthony Franchina has a rolled ankle and we may not see him again today. He's on the boundary getting a lot of treatment.
Allen got his hands on the ball first, taken away by Braun to Cousins. So the 2 youngsters combined, they were outstanding in the first half. The Blues have fought back midfield, taken away by Williams. Pumps the ball back to centre-half forward. He's looking for Mitchell White. Here's the danger man. He's booted for Matera to Rintoul outside of 50. Silvani versus Cummings. It's a big duel. Over the back, through for a behind.
Well, Ben Cousins was one player. Had a fairly quiet 3rd quarter, KB, and if he's got a lot of run left in his legs, he may be a key player for the West Coast Eagles to now try and peg their way back into this game in the last quarter. But great effort by the Carlton midfielders today. They were in trouble early, but they've just stuck to their guns.
They fought their way back into it. Camperelli. Craig Bradley, of course, has been very good.
That's a great kick out
Murphy and Ratton. DeUlio been on and off the interchange bench. Goes short. It's a poor kick. Hardly covered 25 metres. Beaumont has been very handy today. Impressive young player. Just 23 years of age. Hamill's booted for. He's been the danger man on the forward line. Banfield, wonderful hand pass. Great vision to read. Time for think music. Through the centre square. Bangs the ball long. Mitchell White. Koutafidis in front. Got his hands on the ball. Just couldn't quite hang on to the Sharon. Quick hands back to McKay. Runs himself over the line. The roar goes round Subiaco. They want a free kick.
Yeah, I think they're asking if McKay actually stepped back over the line or his momentum did carry him out. The umpire saw it in his favour.
Blues by 7 points. Allen. Emerging ruck star Mitchell White. All tied up. It's been tough in the clinches today. Some tough tackling. Mitchell White had a big duel with Anthony Koutafidis. Nelson to Ratton. Again, it's forced over the line for a boundary throw in. 11-9-75 the Blues. 10-9-69 the Eagles. Twice it looked like the Blues were going to drop off the pace. Once in the second term when they trailed by 25 points, and once in that third term when they trailed by 23. Only hit back on both occasions. Ratton, short toe poke, straight back over the line. He's really battled hard, Ratton. 24 possessions and 6 marks. Camperelli has also got himself back into the game with 18 possessions. And Justin Murphy also with 21.
It's been a highlight, hasn't it? Braun and Ratton have played on each other all day. Been a great contest.
So chance for the Eagles. Bradley, what a game he's played for the Blues. The oldest man out there. Still a magnificent competitor. Morrison all tied up. They'll ball it up on centre wing. There's Anthony Francina. Obviously, he won't be taking any more action in today's game by the looks of him.
Gardner knocks it down. Simmons hurriedly. Cross towards centre half forward. Bradley in trouble. Run down. Could have been holding the ball. Rapunda breaks away in any case. 25 metres out and he's missed. Oh, terrible kick.
He looked like he was running, streaming towards goal, and he just eased up and ended up popping the kick over the top rather than kicking through the ball. But a good shepherd by Dean Kemp to allow him to get that space to run into.
Margin back to 5 points. McKay gets it from Silvani. Still deep in his own defensive area. McKay hugs the boundary with the kick. Beaumont reaching over the top of Morrison. Fell in front. Nelson's in there. So to Banfield. Rapunda dives in. A whistle and a ball up. David Rapunda at the base of the pack. This time last year playing in the local competition. In fact, his only game last year was off the bench against Carlton in round 8. Missing the golden opportunity just moments ago. Gardner knocks it down. Rapunda, did he have the ball? Goes after it again. Nelson, nicely done. Timed the release perfectly. Hume towards the wing. Hamill, who's been so good. Lappin eventually got it to Beaumont. The hand pass ill-directed. Going after it is Hume. In close attendance there is Simmons. Simmons and Hume. Hume did well. Wins it. Kicks inside the 50. But now a chance for the Eagles in the opposite direction. McKenna to Morrison to Reed. Reed bounces it once. He's running down towards half forward. His second bounce. They got it inside their own defensive 50. They could score here. No, McKay's got other ideas. Drifting across in front of the pack. A timely defensive mark. Back come the Blues. End-to-end stuff. DeUlio up from the back pocket. Kicks it towards the wing. Bounces obligingly for Banfield to Cousins. The hand pass comes across to be picked up by Mitchell White. White looking for Cummings again. And again he spots him.
Well, sensational football. Mitchell White just been pretty good. Koutafidis has played him very well. But in this second half, every time Mitchell White's got his hands on the ball, he's been very constructive with it. Found Scotty Cummings almost in on every occasion and really brought himself back into this game. It's been a real good contest between he and Koutafidis.
Well, they're not exactly the Cracker brothers, but they're not far away. On today's performance, Mitchell White and Scott Cummings going for number 7. Twice this season already he's booted 7. The Eagles need this one. and it's fallen away to the left of behind. So the margin now is back to 4 points.
6-2 to Scotty Cummings. Bradley to bring the ball back into play. Blues bunch at centre half forward, then break in all directions, and it works out well because Matthew Allen's got it. Pearce is on a very long lead. He's got McIntosh, who's super quick, got a fist to the ball. It was well done. Lappin has had a good game. Feigned the hand pass, then kicks the space. So the race is on. Koutafidis. Hamill wants it short, spots him. It'll take courage, backing back. McKenna hit the ball hard. Metropolis paddles the ball back over the line.
Good courage by Hamill. Makes a big difference because otherwise McKenna would have had a clear run at the ball and certainly would have belted it out of bounds. As it was, the ball did stay alive, even though for a short time. Just keeps it there for the Carlton players. Blues
by 4 points. Lappin doing some of the ruck work. Nelson came off the interchange bench. The Fraser Brown spots Murphy. He's got it.
Yeah, that was a good kick. Pinpoint accuracy on that one.
Now Whitnell says have a go for the goals. He says I'm going short to Beaumont. So terrific lead by Beaumont. That's his 9th mark. Kicked it behind in the second quarter.
The Eagles have struggled to match up on him today, KB. They started with Metropolis and he took 5 marks on him in the first quarter. Chad Morrison's been marking him for the majority of the rest of the game, but he's always been dangerous, Beaumont.
Well, he's kicked 5 goals for the season. 35 metres out. He's drilled it. The Blues by 10 points.
Very good goal by Beaumont. And the Eagles now facing a bit of a deficit in this last quarter. They have been there before this year against Sydney and they fought back well a couple of weeks ago. Since then they've had the week's break over State of Origin week. We'll have to see if they can really find something to fight their way back now and close the gap on Carlton.
Gutsy Carlton lead by 10 points. Back in the middle. Allen to Ratton. From the moment they picked it up inside the centre square, they've been a different outfit. Braun battles with Brown. Over the top comes Nelson. And a bounce. 81 plays 71. 12.5 minutes to go. What a tonic this would be for the Blues. Allen slaps it down. Banfield, though, into open space. Wasn't the spot to knock it, as it turns out. Cummings almost. Over the top, Silvani, and we'll have a ball up. Well, it was like a slipsfieldsman going to his right there and almost plucking it in. Valiant attempt. He juggled it quite a while. There's the bounce over the top, knocked down by Williams. Brown, tough hombre, knocks it out of there. Simmons stood his ground well, couldn't control it though, and the ball jarred across the boundary line, so a throw in.
He kept it off the ground for a while, didn't he? Just didn't have enough control for the umpire to pay the mark.
So boundary throw in about 40 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal. Still plenty of time, but it's been low scoring. Allen knocks it down to Ulio, tries to advance the ball. Koutafidis did, nicely done. Hume gets it across to support. It's kicked by Nelson, or was it Camporelli? Camporelli towards midfield. They're running side by side. Tapped across by Murphy to Ratton. Camporelli's run on. He's got the ball on the outer side. They continue to run side by side. Nelson's gone down towards half forward. He's got it now. Comes back to Murphy. Great hard running by the Blues. Murphy looks back to the middle. Hamill has to wait. McKenna got there. Play on's the call. Hamill's hurt. Now he's playing a free kick. Oh, gee whiz. That was a very late decision. I happen to be watching the umpire. He was waving play on after this contest.
He said there was some late contact to the face. This McKenna's left arm came across.
Well, I can tell you what, John. He was definitely waving play on after Hamill hit the ground. Obviously thought better of it.
It's crucial, isn't it? The umpires, they do have that split second after a contact like that to really weigh up whether they think it was serious contact, and that's obviously what the umpire's done. Wave play on, and with that second to reflect, then paid the free kick.
Well, I suppose that's the secret, provided they get it right.
Carlton by 11 points. Jakovic in the back pocket. Drives the Eagle back towards the centre wing. Kemp over the top. A ripper.
That's it. They need Dean Kemp to start to take on Craig Bradley and create a little bit of football forward for the Eagles.
That's a contender for the Cadbury Mark of the Year.
That's been a big duel. Mitchell White. He won't spot Cummings this time because he's on centre wing. He's about 100 metres away. Mitchell White looking for an option. Goes short and finds Rintoul. Edge of the centre square. Goes back to the half-forward line where Punda pushed over the line by McKay. Let's have a look at Dean Kemp. Certainly this will be in contention for the Cadbury Mark of the Year. That's a classical mark by Dean Kemp, Norm Smith medalist. Allen to do battle with Gardner. Kemp weaves his way out of trouble. The Eagles not to be denied. Matera's booted 4, got a shove out. DiUlio with body strength to Murphy. Belts the ball back towards the centre wing. McIntosh, too big, too strong, too good.
Across the ground, Gardner meters in the clear. Now the big man can go for a gallop. They stay off him initially. He sets himself for the long ball. Gardner, it wanders down towards the pocket. Going back McKay with great courage. Philip Matera's got it. On in the square is Cummings. And Cummings has put it 7.
Well, don't worry about that one. Let's go straight down to Philip Matera. That was sensational football. He was the only man back after Gardner decided to kick it long. Didn't have a good look. Matera was outnumbered by 3 taller Carlton opponents. However, look, as Matera just pushes back, got 3 Carlton opponents, just created a contest, then a very sharp, perfect handball to Cummings in the goal scorer. It had to be perfect because McKay would have had a chance to get to him otherwise. Great handball and a well-needed goal for the Eagles.
Take a bow, Philip Matera. The Eagles have booted 11 goals, 7 to Scotty Cummings and 4 to Philip Matera, and they've combined to get that goal. Here comes Simmons. The Eagles sense something is about to happen. Manton chips in and takes the mark. He'll go wide to Camporelli. He'll set it up. He's got Fraser Brown breaking quickly on centre wing. They share the ball around. Couldn't take the mark. Banfield closing quickly. Puts the ball over the line. The umpire was on the wrong side. Couldn't see it. Banfield thinks he's got the free kick.
Well,
but the umpire just couldn't see it. Umpire Darren Morris was on the wrong side.
Yeah, he didn't really whack it hard out of bounds. He just got the ball away from him so he wouldn't be pinged for holding it, and it did make the boundary line. Probably a fair decision on that occasion.
Banfield had it and lost it, recovers well. Tumbles the ball back up the half-forward line. Kudafiti's playing in front of Mitchell White. Good enough to climb back off his feet. Ratton, who's been fantastic today. Cousins over the top. 2 great players strutting their stuff at Subiaco.
Not a lot of movement up forward for the Eagles. That's what they need now.
The Blues by 5 points. Just under 9 minutes left. Kudafiti's off hands to Hume. The Camporelli. High ball. Werpunda. It's got 3 to beat at ground level. Dragged off the ball by Hume. No free kick. Taken away by Camporelli. Pearce has got it in front of Metropolis. The lead is on from Beaumont. Out in front of Morrison. Second grab. Couldn't take it. Morrison with body strength. Magnificent play. Out of trouble. Rockets the ball to the open space. Hamill hits the ball hard. McKenna was there. 2 against 1. Hamill belts the ball back to 50 and it's been taken by Lappin. Loose player Ronnie Hume can run into the open goal. Stands his ground. Could have made a certainty. Had plenty of time. Has elected to go back and have his kick.
I get the feeling that the next free kick paid to the Eagles is going to get a fair roar from this crowd. They're a little bit flustered at the moment. They're praying for a free kick, but good work by Carlton. Just good spotting the loose man, and they got it to him. It was still a pretty tough kick for Hume.
Important kick for this young player, just playing his 32nd game. Hume. He's got it. He's nailed it.
Well, the crowd certainly are looking for a free kick. They feel as though the Eagles are being harshly dealt with in the last few contests where maybe it's been 50-50 whether a kick's paid or not. Carlton have still just pushed forward and got the goal. So the Eagles players can't worry about anything now, but just running hard, forcing the ball forward. And they've got to get a couple of goals on the board now. Carlton playing extremely well. They've been hard at it all day.
Margin back to 11 points where Punda has limped off. Embley is on. Interesting matchup. He's on Lappin at the moment. In the centre, Gardner knocks it down. Braun tries to get through. Stolen away by Nelson to Brown to Camporelli. Great running. Camporelli finds Pearce. Wonderful football out of the centre.
Well, that certainly has changed around that first half. Cousins and Braun and Banfield absolutely dominated that centre square.
They do, Dan. Philip Reid, they're all on top of their direct opponents. But those Carlton players, they've got that little bit more experience than those young Eagles players, and they've just worked extremely hard to get themselves, first of all, back into the game and now on top. Great play out of the centre there.
This time last year, this man was out with a back injury. Trying to put it behind him, and I think he has. That's over the line, I fancy. Goal to the Blues. Oh, that's a backbreaker for the West Coast Eagles.
That is, Dennis, and again that one just made the line. And Michael Gardner not down on the goal line. He's the tallest player the Eagles have got. They left it to Embley on the line. Gardner may have made the difference down there. I think it's certainly something the Eagles may address during the week. But great play by Carlton. They've really worked their way back on top. They'll be fighting hard to stay there.
2 goals to Pearce. The Blues lead by 17 points. Just a few seconds over 7 minutes left in this game. Simmons spins out of trouble. Well caught by Camporelli. Cousins with Reid combined. Back half. That's Subiaco. Murphy caught high.
Oh.
No free kick taken away by Banfield. Kicked it into Nelson. Allen. Quick hands to Fraser Brown. To McKay. Out of defence. Kicks long. He's got it. Pearce has got it, but it's a push out to Metropolis.
Metropolis certainly pleading for the kick, as he knew Pearce was going to take the mark.
Not much in that. Metropolis goes long. Banfield's a target. Murphy's in front. Bellotti spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. Long raking hand pass. Didn't quite get the bounce as Reid. Murphy's been very good. Shocking kick. Bellotti. The turnover. This can set it up for the Eagles. Matera is booted forward, taken to the ground by DiIulio. Desperate play by the Carlton defence. Bellotti again, 45 metres out. He's way, way off target and through for a behind.
Bellotti's come on to replace Mitchell White, who was the man who kicked a couple of goals for the Eagles to get him back in front of Sydney last week. Mitchell's now back on the ground, and they'll certainly be looking for goals to come from him.
Just under 6 minutes to go. The margin 16 points. Bradley towards the outer side. Great mark, Koutafidis. One-on-one. And he carries the day. Koutafidis looking for Hamill. Hamill juggles it across the line. Boundary throw in.
Dennis, David Weerapunda has left the ground. His right boot is off. Has had a kick in the leg as this crowd of 33,000 tries to lift the Eagles.
They need a quick goal. Throw in right on the wing. Allen and Gardner battle again as they've done all day. There's Hamill taken high, held to him, says the umpire. McIntosh right there, so a brief respite. 14-10 to 11-12. The West Coast Eagles with only 2 goal scorers this afternoon. Scott Cummings 7, Philip Matera 4. Allen directs it down. Over the top, Kemp slaps it wider. Hume did well in a tight situation twice. Pulled it back in. Nelson to Bradley. Looping hand pass releases Camporelli. Comes back towards the middle and Ratton. From behind, it's knocked away there by Cousins, and the umpire lets them play. Dash from Cousins then. Feeds it across to Braun. The Eagles going wide. Braun down towards right half forward. In front is Manton. And Manton just escorts the ball across the line. Mitchell White not happy. Glenn Manton trots back. Turned 26 last Tuesday, did Glenn. Time remaining, and a real enemy now of the West Coast Eagles. You get the feeling Carlton are on the verge of a massive upset, and it's looking good for them. Just need to be steady here. Hume is all of that. Gets it away to Bradley. He will be. Ratton in space. Sends play up towards the wing. Whitnell could have almost got a free and will.
Well, it's been a good game for Lance Whitnell. He's booted 3 goals. He's been under a lot of pressure to perform. We see Jakovic here, just over the shoulder of Whitnell. So the umpire was spot on. Whitnell is virtually on the half-back line. between half-back and centre wing. Kicks a high ball. So it's one for the high flyers. Beaumont, that's his 10th mark. Pearce has got Metropolis in the square, wants the lead. McKay has come all the way down from the half-back line with Embley. Some pushing and shoving. Pearce, quick snap. It's off target. Through for a behind. Grimace from Pearce. McKay made a lot of ground from half-back. Embley did well to go with him. Tried to set up the loose player on the half-forward line. 78 plays 95. The Blues by 17 points. The Eagles led by 2 points at quarter time, 5 points at half-time, and trailed by a point at three-quarter time. Under 4 minutes left. Metropolis goes straight down the centre of the ground. Beaumont sets himself in front. Nearly took a one-hander. It's been an impressive player. Hume has pounced on it to Allen. Pearce sets himself in front. Great fist away that time by Metropolis. Loose ball. Ratton sets it up. Hamill's booted for. Couldn't quite get his boot to the ball. Ratton squeezed up in the pocket. The whistle's gone.
Against Hamill holding the ball, KB.
Hamill.
Put it on the ground before he threw his foot at it. We'll see on the replay. Gets tackled. Had the chance to get it out. Now puts it on the ground before he kicks it. So good decision. Good tackle by Jakovic.
Jakovic has got a loose player out wide in McKenna. He spots him. So a transfer of play. This could open up. Williams runs hard. Leaves Lappin behind. So the youngster from South Belgrade in Victoria. This is close to the line. Coming across his man. Puts it over for a boundary throw-in.
KB, David Weir punter is back on the ground and is jogging, but I don't think he'll go back on the ground.
That was interesting, actually. McKenna knew he was metres in the clear, and the Carlton runner was running onto the ground. It was about 5 paces behind him, and that surprised McKenna. He actually hesitated, but he could have run on. Meantime, back at the ranch, Cousins has got the ball. Koutafidis is in the road. Enthralling duel, that one. Koutafidis and Mitchell White. Fraser Brown. So now Carlton looking to run down the clock. What a win this is going to be. The buffer is gone for the Eagles. A couple of games clear on top. And Carlton, a chance to emerge from the ruck as a result of a victory. Fraser Brown up to the wing. Well done by McIntosh, knocking it away from Hamill. But Hamill has done his job. Braun goes in short to Kemp despairingly. It was called a throw, was it? No, in the back to Kemp. Kemp is going to get a free kick. 2.5 minutes to go. The margin would seem too great. 17 points. Kemp goes looking for Philip Matera, but it's short of the mark. McKay.
He's a good player, McKay. On the Foss Williams medals last week. He was outstanding for Carlton across halfback. Silvani's had a tough day at the office. He's had 7 goals booted on him. Morrison tied up by Beaumont. It's given in the back. Impressive player Stephen Beaumont today. 21 possessions and 10 marks. He's also booted a goal. Chad Morrison played Victoria last week for the very first time in State of Origin. He's on centre wing. The time clock is ticking away. Just under 2 minutes left. Morrison to centre half forward. It's a poor kick. And backing back is Nelson. Former Sturt player has shown a little bit today also. The glandular fever last year. Could be a coming player for the Blues. Whitnell out in front of Jakovic. Sharing the ball around Carlton. Pearce has got 2 to beat. Sandwiched in between Metropolis down there and also McKenna. Just hobbles away from the contest. Boundary throw in. Half forward flank for Carlton. A good 75 metres from their goal. Lappin's coming off and Rice is coming on. So David Parkin still ringing the changes. A test of strength between Whitnell and Jakovic. Beaumont does well. Rockets the ball out towards Fraser Brown. In fact, correction comes back to Beaumont. Goes short. And there's a holding decision against the Eagles. And it's going to go to Hamill, who's been an influential player. He's booted 4 goals, including 2 goals in that torrid third term. And he's got this free kick directly in front, 35 metres out. This is a big win by the Blues. They lead by 17 points. This to stretch it to 23. Hamill going for goal number 5. He's got it.
Well, that's blown away. The Carlton players have run from everywhere to congratulate Aaron Hamill. He's had a great game, kicking 5 goals. Really been a thorn up there. I suppose his job initially, once picked up by McIntosh, was to draw him up the ground. But to come back and finish off with 5 goals is an outstanding effort. The Carlton forwards have really worked hard on not letting the Eagles' backline settle into any motion.
Well, Ashley McIntosh is usually like good hairspray, the master of the subtle hold, but that time was picked up, and that was the clincher. Although I think the result was already in the book. Wide of the pack, downwind Simmons. Over the ball is Camporelli, was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Into the last seconds of this game, Camporelli inside the centre square. 15-11, 101 to 11-12, 78. 7 Carlton players played State of Origin football last week, just the 1 Eagle. Here's Williams out of defence. But in each of the terms, Carlton has been the side to run on best. Williams again. Bellotti inside the centre square, thought about it, runs outside the centre square, feeds it to Cousins, who goes again to Braun. Braun on the wing, back to Cousins. He's forced to stop to Reid. 10 seconds to go. What a victory this will be for the Blues. Reid goes looking for Scott Cummings. He was held, and he'll kick it goal after the siren. Twice in his career he's booted 8 goals, both times for the Bombers. And listen to that roar. What a win for David Parkin and Carlton. One of their finest. Carlton is celebrating, oblivious to all of this. This is just window dressing. Cummings going for 8. Philip Matera 4, so just the 2 goal kickers for the Eagles. Cummings, I think, has got a goal. He has after the siren. But Carlton come away with the 4 points. Bradley, terrific this afternoon. 26 possessions, particularly early in the game. He dominated the opening quarter when clearly David Parkin didn't want to concede a fast start to the opposition. And Michael Malthouse suddenly sees that buffer on top evaporate. A lot of teams now breathing down the neck of the West Coast Eagles. Craig Bradley is going across to Adrian Barrage as the Blues continue to celebrate. Adrian?
Yes, here he is, Battles. That's got to be your best win for the year.
Oh, yeah, no, that is our best win. Really proud of the boys today. 4 goals down twice over here. Showed a lot of character, so it's fantastic.
Some great individual clashes. Yours with Dean Kent was an absolute belter.
Well, if he wins Mark of the Year, he's got to send me a postcard wherever he's going.
Good on you, Battles. Enjoy it, mate. Well done.
The crowd not happy, but Carlton put their stamp on this game when it counted. As you heard a couple of times, 4 goals down, able to steady and buck the odds. It's Subiaco Oval. The second leg of our doubleheader has been a thriller, and Carlton upset winners 15-11 to 12-12. Carlton still on the ground. They're savouring this moment. They've won by 17 points. One of their finest victories in a long, long time. 15-11, 101 to 12-12, and you work it out. They're singing the song on the ground. Let's join them.